everyone, and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and we have a lot of ground to cover today, so I'll get right into it. Starting in the NFL, Week 3 saw some bizarre results. There were some surprising blowouts, like the Colts beating the Titans 41-20, the Vikings dropping 48 points on the Bengals, the Panthers shutting out the Falcons 30-0, and the Seahawks beating the Saints by 31. On the other end of the spectrum, there were a few last-second nail-biter wins. With under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, the Green Bay Packers and Cleveland Browns were all tied at 10-10. Brandon McManus was lining up to kick a 43-yard field goal and give the Packers the lead. However, that kick was blocked and Cleveland recovered. This is a sentence you're going to hear a few times throughout this show. Anyways, 5 plays later, Cleveland kicker Andre Schmidt lined up for a 55-yard field goal, and as time expired, his kick went directly through the uprights, giving the Browns the upset win 13-10 over the top-ranked Packers. With little time remaining, the LA Rams were down 26-27 to the defending champion Eagles. The Rams ate up all the time off the clock, driving down into field goal range to kick the final try as time expired and take the lead. The Eagles forced pressure up the middle, and the Rams' kick was blocked. For good measure, even though Philly had sealed the win with that block, 336-pound Jordan Davis scooped up the bouncing ball and returned it 61 yards for a score as time expired. I mentioned Davis's weight because he reached a top speed of 18.59 miles per hour during his scoop and score, the fastest by a player over 330 pounds since at least 2017. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers found themselves in a similar situation as the Rams. Up 26-20 over the New York Jets, Bucs lined up to kick a 43-yard field goal with 2 minutes remaining to seal the win. You're seeing the trend here? Just like the previous 2 games, Chase McLaughlin's kick was blocked, and the Jets' Will McDonald recovered the ball and would return it 50 yards for a touchdown. Just like that, the Jets were up 27-26 with little time remaining. However, in what's become a weekly occurrence for Baker Mayfield, he led the offense with precision for a 7-play, 48-yard drive in under 2 minutes, setting up the Bucs to kick the game-winning field goal. This time, McLaughlin's kick went dead center through the uprights, bringing the Bucs to 3-0. It's rare to see blocked field goals in the NFL, but all 3 of those happened within about 10 minutes of real time of each other. It was a wild way to start out Sunday morning, and then we were treated to an incredible ending to the week with the high-powered matchup of the Baltimore Ravens and Detroit Lions on Monday night. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery combined for 218 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. Jared Goff threw for 202 yards and a score, and the Lions held off the Ravens 38-30 in a fast-paced shootout. Lamar Jackson looked to be in MVP form for Baltimore, going 21 of 27 with 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. This game went back and forth with both teams swapping scores, but the turning point for the 3rd time this season was Derrick Henry fumbling the football with little time remaining in the fourth quarter. The Lions improved to 2-1, while the Ravens fall to 1-2. It's hard to believe it's already week 4, but we've been spoiled with some incredible games to this point. The Packers and Rams losses last week hurt my perfect picks record, so I'm now sitting at 10-2 for the year. Still not bad at all. For week 4, I'll go with the Broncos to right the ship over the Bengals on Monday night, Detroit to pick up their 3rd straight win with a victory over the Browns, the Bears to keep it rolling over the Raiders, and my underdog pick of the week, the Panthers to upset the Patriots. There weren't too many surprises in the college football world during week 4, but there were 2. Fernando Mendoza threw 5 touchdown passes Saturday night, leading number 19 Indiana past number 9 Illinois 63-10 for the Hoosiers' first win over a top 10 team in 5 years and easily the most lopsided. Indiana's previous best was a 31-10 victory at number 9 Ohio State in 1987. The other somewhat shocking outcome came in the Big 12 Conference. Backup quarterback Will Hammond stepped in for the Texas Tech offense in the 3rd quarter and put together 4 scoring drives to lead the 17th-ranked Red Raiders to a 34-10 win over number 16 Utah. In the 4th quarter, after a 5-yard touchdown rush by Wayshawn Parker, Utah cut the Texas Tech lead down to 13-10. After that, the game was never close as Texas Tech scored touchdowns on 3 straight drives, securing the 34-10 final score. Week 5 of the season is going to host some incredible matchups this weekend. To start the day at 9 a.m. on Fox, number 21 USC heads on the road to take on number 23 Illinois. These 2 teams are on opposite trajectories as USC is climbing the rankings while Illinois fell 14 spots last week. Then at 12:30 on ABC, we get the SEC matchup of 2 undefeated teams when the number 13 Ole Miss Rebels will host the number 4 LSU Tigers. To end the day at 4:30 p.m., we get treated to 2 unbelievable matchups. On NBC, 3-0 number 3 Penn State will defend their home turf against visiting 4-0 and number 6 ranked Oregon. And lastly, the game I'm looking forward to the most, number 5 ranked Georgia Bulldogs hosting their rivals number 17 Alabama. If you remember last season, there were 4 touchdowns scored in the fourth quarter during this matchup as Alabama narrowly defeated Georgia. Hopefully, this game lives up to last year. The WNBA playoffs have reached the semifinals, and each series sits at 1-1. The Lynx won Game 1 over the Mercury 82-69 when Courtney Williams scored a game-high 23 points, Kayla McBride scored 21, and Nafisa Collier added 18 points and 9 rebounds. Then, Satu Sabali scored 11 of her 24 points in the fourth quarter, and Alyssa Thomas had 19 points and 13 rebounds to help the Phoenix Mercury erase a 20-point deficit and beat the Lynx 89-83 in overtime of the Game 2 to tie this series. Game 3 of this series will be tonight at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN2, and Game 4 will be on Sunday. On the other side of the bracket, the Indiana Fever shocked the Las Vegas Aces in Game 1, coming away with an 89-73 win. Kelsey Mitchell scored a playoff career-high 34 points, including 17 in the first half. However, Asia Wilson bounced back from a rare off game with 25 points and 9 rebounds, helping Vegas play up to their potential in Game 2, dropping a lopsided 90-68 win and tying the series. Game 3 of this series will be today at 4:30 p.m., and Game 4 will also be on Sunday. Last week, only 3 MLB teams had fully claimed their postseason spots. Now, that list has grown to 8. Here's a look at how the playoff picture stands as of yesterday. The Blue Jays, Yankees, Mariners, plus 2 of our local teams, the Dodgers and Padres, have all joined the playoff party. Also, last week, only 8 teams were officially eliminated from playoff contention. Now that list has grown to 13. The Braves, Rangers, Royals, Giants, and Rays have now found themselves on the eliminated list. Both the NL and AL wildcard games will get started on Tuesday the 30th, so tune in to as many baseball games as you can this weekend and see which teams will make the last-minute push to enter the playoffs and which teams will fall just shy. The NHL preseason has officially begun, and games will be played throughout the week from now until October 4th. Then, the real action begins when the regular season drops the puck for the first time on October 7th. So, if you've been missing out on hockey, worry no longer as the season is just around the corner. For fans of professional golf, it's now time for one of the most important events of the year, the Ryder Cup. Every 2 years, the Ryder Cup features a team of 12 of the top European golfers going head-to-head against 12 of the best players from the United States in a 3-day match play competition. The 2025 Ryder Cup will take place at the Bethpage Black Course at Bethpage State Park in Farmingdale, New York. The tournament will begin today and will finish on Sunday the 28th. For the U.S. team, the top 6 eligible players in the Ryder Cup standings following the BMW Championship, which concluded on August 17th, automatically qualified for the 2025 Ryder Cup. Those 6 golfers are Xander Schauffele, J.J. Spahn, Russell Henley, Harris English, Bryson DeChambeau, and you guessed it, Scottie Scheffler. U.S. captain Keegan Bradley handpicked the other 6 team members: Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Cameron Young, Patrick Cantlay, and Sam Byrne. Tune in to NBC, the Golf Channel, USA Network, or Peacock at any time throughout the weekend to watch Team USA. To close the show, one of the most prestigious awards in all of sports was handed out recently. Paris Saint-Germain forward Ousmane Dembélé is now the most recent winner of the Ballon d'Or, which is an annual soccer award presented by French magazine France Football since 1956 to honor the player deemed to have performed the best over the previous season. The 28-year-old Dembélé scored 35 goals in 53 appearances in all competitions for PSG, who also won Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France, in addition to their first ever Champions League trophy. Congratulations to Dembélé on his first ever win. With all of that said, enjoy all of the football, baseball, hockey, WNBA, golf, and so much more that this weekend has to offer. As always, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.